Spreading all around my room, my world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video here on the World of Juice channel, and welcome back to another Madden rebuild here on Madden 25. Today, we continue our rebuilds of some of the top NFL draft picks and where they got taken to what team here in the most recent NFL draft, the 2025 NFL draft. We've already done the number one overall pick, the number one overall pick. Who was the number one overall pick? It was, oh my God, why am I blanking on the number one overall pick? Travis Hunter was 2 to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Who was the number one? Oh, it was Cam Ward to the Titans. I don't know why I blanked on it. I just had a massive brain fart right there. Completely forgot who the number one pick is. We already did Cam Ward to the Titans, number one overall pick. Travis Hunter to the Jaguars, number 2 overall pick. And now we get a little bit of a 2-for-1 type of deal. Because next up is the New York Giants. Because usually I only rebuild the teams that drafted quarterbacks because that's the most interesting. But the Giants just so happen to have taken a quarterback and had the number 3 overall pick and took one of the best, probably the second best player in this entire draft in terms of just overall talent level, and that is Abdul Carter at number 3. So not only do we get to rebuild the Giants with the number 3 overall pick, but also Jaxson Dart, who's going to be hopefully their franchise quarterback, which I think he was taken at 10 or maybe 15. I don't know. I'll look it up when I edit the video. I'll figure it out. But we are rebuilding the New York Giants with Jaxson Dart and Abdul Carter, a little 2-for-1 deal. I hope you guys go on to enjoy. If you do, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club, and let's go rebuild the New York Football Giants. This is the squad that the 2025-26 Giants will work with for the upcoming season. Yeah, it's not great. It's not great. They have a lot of work to do, but you've got a lot of promise with this man right here. Malik Neighbors is going to be so good. He's such a good player. He's so good. And he's probably going to be our number 1 for this entire video, unless we find somebody else. I doubt that's going to happen, but maybe. But here is one of the main focuses. I already gave him star dev because I do feel like in Madden 25 or Madden 26, he's going to have star dev. I would be shocked if he had normal, but I mean, it's possible, I guess. But I feel like they're going to give all the rookie quarterbacks, at least in the first round, star dev. I don't know what they'll give Shedeur. Maybe they'll give Shedeur star dev. Who knows? But we've given Jaxson Dart star dev. I've also given Abdul Carter star dev. And this is what we're working with. He's got a good arm, but he's got a lot to work on. I've seen some people talk about him during the draft saying that he's got a lot of physical attributes, but he's not that good of a quarterback in terms of like the fundamentals. So we'll see what he can do in real life. We'll see what he can do in the game. And I think I'm going to trade Russell Wilson because Jameis and Jaxson Dart are both the same overall. So I think I'm going to trade Russell and just have Jaxson Dart start for year number 1 because that will be the best case scenario. So we'll move on from Russell Wilson. But on defense, here is our man, number 3 overall pick, Abdul Carter, who I am a big, big fan of. I like Abdul Carter a lot. And I think he's going to be absolutely unbelievable in this Giants team because you've got him, you've got Brian Burns, you've got Sexy Dexy. This defensive line for the New York Giants looks pretty darn elite. Brian Burns in this formation, though, will be an outside linebacker. We could always move him down to the defensive end side and just have this figured out for the rest of the video, which I might end up doing because usually you can find really good edge or outside linebackers in drafts, and more so than you can find defensive ends, but I guess we'll have to find out. We do have the real-life draft classes loaded in here, so we'll be using those. But safety with Tyler Nubin is pretty much done. We don't have to worry about that. We don't have to worry about Javon Holland at free safety. They just signed him in the offseason. The cornerback room, I hope, is good for the video. I hope we don't have to do that at all. There might not be a lot we have to touch on this defense. We probably have to add one more linebacker because I don't know if Micah McFadden's going to get the job done. I'd like for him to do it, but I don't know if he will. Kayvon, I want to believe in, so we're going to keep him around. Really, the only fix that we're probably going to need to do is figure out if Brian Burns is going to be a right outside linebacker or if he's going to be a defensive end. Because if he's going to be a defensive end, then we need an outside linebacker. If he's going to be an outside linebacker, then we need a defensive end. So one of these two positions is going to get filled out. It's just a matter of which way do I want Brian Burns to play. I'm probably going to lean more towards him being defensive lineman, but we'll figure it out. The offense is probably where we're going to need to do a little bit more work. This entire offensive line needs some help. I do like Runyon and Thomas, but the rest of this team is just absolutely god awful on the offensive line. Evan Neal is unfortunately going to have to be a bust. I really wanted him to work out. I do like Evan Neal. I was a big fan of him coming out of the draft, but he's just not good. And he's a 74 overall normal dev player. I just don't see a world where he can play unless we give him a career revival and move him to center over John Michael Schmitz. Maybe that's possible. You know what? Let's get crazy in this rebuild. How big is he? He's 6'7", 350. You know what? We're going to have a 6'7", 350 dude play center for us, and maybe that'll be a career revival for Evan Neal. Maybe he just needs a little change of pace. So there he goes. He's going to be our starting center for this rebuild, or at least for a couple of years until we get an upgrade. I don't know. Maybe for the entire video. Tight end, we need a little bit of help as well. And obviously, running back with Tyrone Tracy, I do like a lot. But we also have Cam Scatterbo, who could be fun. They just drafted him. That could be pretty fun to have. So quarterback is going to be the first thing that we do, which is trade Russell Wilson. I want Jalen Hyatt to be good. I really do. I think he's a good player. He just hasn't put it all together in the NFL. And maybe he's not that good, actually. Maybe I'm just wrong, which is very possible. But I'm going to put him in the slot, and maybe he can have a good season. But we're going to move on from Mr. Unlimited. Is there anybody that wants him? Ooh, we can get Tremaine Edmonds right out the gates. We can get Greg Newsome, Braden Smith, Trayvon Walker. Oh my good. George Pickens. Oh my God. Russell Wilson has crazy value. Oh my God. We can get Joe Tippmann as well. I'm between Trayvon Walker and George Pickens. A Pickens, Malik Neighbors duo would feed generations. But also, Trayvon Walker on the defensive line so that Brian Burns stays at outside linebacker, that's also a very good possibility. Oh, I'm torn. Natalie Imbruglia. Oh my God. I don't know which one to go for. I don't know who to go for. Is there any way I can get both of them? Let's trade for George Pickens, make that deal, and then let's go talk to the Jags and see if they have any other people that they would want from us for Trayvon Walker. Now, I know we just did the Jags rebuild and had Trayvon Walker on the squad, and there's no other options for Trayvon Walker. That's okay. That's okay. We could make a deal, but then we're spending a lot of money doing nothing. And George Pickens is on the team now. Him and Malik Neighbors is absolutely insane. And I hope in Madden 26 he actually has a player portrait, or not a player portrait, a player model, because that's kind of embarrassing. But we also probably should trade Darius Slayton. I know they just re-signed him, but I'm not a big Darius Slayton guy. I just don't think he's that good. We can get Von Bell, Alex Singleton, Jerome Ford. He doesn't have as much value as Russell Wilson, which is kind of crazy, actually, that Russell Wilson had more value than him. Oh, and I just realized we sent him back to the Steelers. That's hilarious. I didn't even put that together when I was thinking of the trade. So none of these trades are that enticing for Darius Slayton. We could go with a middle linebacker like Alex Singleton or Anthony Walker Jr. and just replace Micah McFadden right out the gates, but that's probably just a temporary fix. It's not really anything permanent, I wouldn't think. But can we get something for Darius Slayton? Maybe like a third-round pick from a team that needs a wide receiver, or a second-round pick from the Bears? No, we can't get a second-round pick. What about a third-round pick? Probably not a third. Ooh, a third is very close for Darius Slayton. Is there any other player that I want to get rid of? Okereke is 29. We got a very young team, though. Very, very young team. Who else can I toss in this deal? Van Roten, 35, feels wrong to have him on the squad. I probably should get rid of Singletary, right? Because we're gonna go Tyrone Tracy and Cam Scatabo or Scataboo, whatever his name is. But if I do this, I might be able to get a first out of the Bears. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. What about if I do this now? We can get DJ Turner, Jordan Hicks. I like the idea of DJ Turner. It's kind of interesting. N'Kobe Dean's cool. Okay, so it's either DJ Turner or a second round pick. Do I think a second round pick is more viable than DJ Turner? Probably. Let's go for a second round pick from Chicago. The fact that quarterback is still their number one need when they have Caleb Williams is kind of annoying, but that's whatever. So, nope, not a first round pick. So let's just trade for a second round pick, and maybe I can squeeze out a third next year. Okay, no. What about a fourth? What about a fourth next year? If I can't get a fourth, then I'll just trade for the second. Okay, let's just trade for the second round pick. Oh, no, wait, what? They don't want Devin Singletary? I thought for sure they'd want Devin Singletary. And now, wait, what is going on? What? So Darius, hold on. Was I not trading with the Bears? I could have sworn I was trading with the Bears. Hold on. Did I screw something up here? Was I not trading with Chicago? What just happened? Was it not Darius Slayton for a second round pick? Was that not in the green? I think I had a stroke. What just happened? I don't even know. All right, well, let's move on to a different team that maybe wants Darius Slayton a little bit more. Was it a third round pick that I was trading for? Hold on. It might have been a third round pick that I was trying to get. I don't remember, man. What just happened? I just had a wild moment where I completely don't even remember what just happened. I know it was the Bears, right? See, that's what I thought the Bears deal was. But if I throw in Devin Singletary, is that going to screw it up? What? Is that going to screw things up again? Okay, so we can maybe get a third round pick as well. Can I get a second round pick next year? 2 seconds for these guys? Kind of. I think I'll just go for a third. We'll just go for a third, and we'll toss in some of our own draft capital, I guess. Let's just toss in one of our many 7s that we have. Oops. And maybe that'll work. Trade offer accepted. So we get a second this year and a third next year for Singletary and Slayton from the Dallas Cowboys, which means we are going to ride with Tracy and Scataboo, whatever his name is. We are going to have Pickens and Neighbors, Wan'Dale Robinson, and Jalen Hyatt. I need to make sure that Jalen Hyatt's still playing the slot. He's not. So he's going to go up and play the slot. And hopefully this works. Jaxson Dart is the starting quarterback. We're going to be running Giants playbooks, although I might do something that I haven't done in one of these rebuilds in a while, and that is change the playbooks in the first season. I'm not sure if I want to do that or not. Maybe we'll ride with the Giants playbooks for 1 year and see how good they are. Ooh, there's 100% on the base 3-4. We'll see how good the Giants playbooks do in year number 1. I might change them fairly quickly because I want Jaxson Dart to be good. So we'll see what happens there. But now that we've made those moves, Jaxson Dart starting at quarterback for us, we're going to see how good this Giants team is in his rookie year. If you're going to enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club, and let's simulate year number 1 of Jaxson Dart's NFL career. Season 1 is wrapped up, and we went 6-11, which is more wins than I thought that we would have with this team in year number 1. So the Giants playbook might not be that bad. I think the roster is just not that great this year. How did our young guys do? There's a lot of young guys on this team. Jaxson Dart, 3,500 yards, 23 touchdowns, but also had 22 interceptions. All right, so Giants offense might not be quarterback friendly with Jaxson Dart. Hopefully he had some good development, though. Rushing numbers, Tyrone Tracy had 845 and 7 touchdowns. Good for him. And Jaxson Dart put up 8 on the ground as well. And then receiving, yes, Jalen Hyatt, baby. That's exactly what I wanted. That's why we put him in the slot right there. So Malik Neighbors has his normal season, 1,000 yards. Only 3 touchdowns, though, because Jalen Hyatt stole all of the touchdowns. 1,000 yards and 11 touchdowns. That's exactly what I wanted from Jalen Hyatt. Pickens had a great year with 8, 11, and 3. And then Theo Johnson, the tight end, did fine with 422 and 3 touchdowns himself. But I like having Jalen Hyatt. This is exactly why we put him in the slot for that season. That's crazy. Bobby Okereke, 109 tackles. Paulson Adebo. I'm a big Paulson Adebo guy. I'm glad that he performed very well with 81 tackles and 3 touch. What? 81 tackles and 3 interceptions. I'm on defense, not offense. Kayvon Thibodeau, I hope he has a productive season and I hope he has a productive career because I really want him to develop. 15 tackles for loss for Brian Burns leads the team. 12 for Thibodeau, 12 for Lawrence, and 10 for Chauncey Golston. Okay, big dog. Abdul Carter, 25 tackles, 6 tackles for loss, 3.5 sacks. That's a fine rookie season, a little bit lower production than I want him to have, but he's young. He's a lower overall. He'll get up there, hopefully. And then sack leader was, Chauncey Golston with 8.5. Okay, Chauncey, I see you out here. Maybe we don't need a defensive end. Maybe Chauncey's going to be the guy. Then we had Okereke and Adebo with 4 interceptions and 3 interceptions. Then a few guys had 1. I do think for next year I'm going to switch playbooks on offense. I want to shake things up a little bit. Usually I keep the whatever team I'm using or whatever team I'm rebuilding. Usually I keep their playbooks for a few years, and then we switch when we go for our playoff push or our Super Bowl push. I think I might change it early. I think I might change that to year number 2, and I might go Kansas City because Theo Johnson's also pretty young at tight end, and we can make him go crazy along with Jaxson Dart if we wanted to. So I haven't fully decided if I want to go Kansas City or not, but I might. It might not give us enough wins, but I mean, it is Kansas City's playbook at the end of the day. It can make a lot of teams that are bad look better than they are. All right, let's upgrade all of the boys that are on the practice squad. So it looks like the Bills got the Super Bowl. Buffalo wins a championship. Josh Allen's the MVP of the Super Bowl. Joe Burrow's MVP of the league. Amon-Ra St. Brown and Aiden Hutchinson are the players of the year, so the Lions absolutely dominated. And then Ashton Jeanty wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. And Jahdae Brown, is that how you say that? Oh, I heard people pronounce it at the draft, but I can't remember now. Cornerback for the Broncos out of Texas. He wins the Rookie of the Year defensively. I can't remember. I think it's Jahdae, but I don't. It could be Jahdae. I don't remember. I heard people say it, but I don't remember how to pronounce it. That's my bad. I'll learn it once we get into the season. Once he starts playing football, I'll learn his name. We move to the first off season. We've got negotiations. We've got a few dollars in the bank, $62 million. Isaiah Simmons, Greg Dulcich. Oh, wow. This is not anybody important. I mean, the Scottish Hammer, Jamie Gillian. We might want to bring him back on a 7-year deal just to have a kicker. And he's going to come back, or a punter, I mean. Isaiah Simmons I like. I hate to admit it, but I like Isaiah Simmons. I know he's not good, but I'm going to re-sign him. Isaiah Simmons is back. And that leaves us with $54 million. I don't need Dulcich. So that leaves us back with $54 million to play with in free agency. And we could find some young rookies in this free agency because the contracts are all messed up. We could. Oh, Khalil Mack, that's the first time I've seen him in one of these free agencies. Oh, that reminds me. I do want to point out that I did fix Jaxson Dart and Abdul Carter's contracts, so now they match their real life rookie contracts with like the 4 years plus the 5-year player option. Although I just had to give them 5 years total, just because you can't offer a player option when you're editing a contract. So they're all under 5-year deals because we were going to accept their 5th-year options anyway. So they're all under 5-year deals with their actual contracts that they're making in real life. So we don't have to worry about that. I did that right before we started recording. So going into the free agent period, we could... Oh, before we sign any free agents, I need to take a look at dev trade upgrades. Do we get any upgrades? I would be shocked if we didn't see one from Chauncey Golston. On the offense, Jaxson Dart, superstar dev. That's absolutely... Oh, that's huge. No star dev for Jalen Hyatt, though? That feels a little like I got robbed. That feels a little crazy. Wow. No star dev for Chauncey. Evan Neal goes up to a 75. We need a right guard because our right guard has retired. But Jaxson Dart going up to superstar is massive. What about on defense? No dev trait for Chauncey Golston. He's a 75 as well. Carter's a star still. Okereke goes up to superstar, and Brian Burns is an X factor. And Paulson Adebo, I didn't even notice that. Paulson Adebo's over there at superstar, so that's huge. Wow, some shocking ones that we didn't get. I thought for sure Jalen Hyatt and Chauncey Golston were guaranteed locks to be dev trade upgrades, but they both don't go up. So that makes me want to possibly sign... I mean, we need to go for a right guard, absolutely. We could draft one, but we need to go for one at least in free agency. Who that's gonna be, I don't know. We could offer Brandon Scherf, but he's only like a rental. Dalton Reisner is an option, or we go younger, like 27 with Kendrick Green. But all these guys are like 77 overall. They're not that impressive. Nobody in the left guard spot's that impressive either. We've got to sign somebody. I think I'm going to go Dalton Reisner. We're going to give him a 2-year deal just to have somebody in case we can't bring anybody in the draft, just to have somebody there to play the position. Now, I think I'm leaning towards Khalil Mack. I know that sounds kind of crazy because he's 35 years old, but if we bring Khalil Mack in, he plays where Brian Burns plays. We move Brian Burns down to defensive end, and our team is looking a little bit better. So I might offer, I don't want to pay him too much because he's old, but if we can pay Khalil Mack, that might be a nice little 1-year, 2-year rental type of thing. Is there anybody else here that I want to pay? Dorian Williams. Oh, 25 years old, 78 overall. That's intriguing. I like that a lot. Ooh, 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 ooh. Okay. Dorian Williams. Maybe we don't offer Khalil Mack then. Maybe we withdraw our offer from Khalil Mack and we just take Dorian Williams because he can fill the same spot and he's a lot younger and presumably a lot cheaper. So maybe we can offer Dorian Williams and we just withdraw off of Khalil Mack and just go after Dorian. Now, it's not a guarantee that we're going to get Dorian. I might have to bump up his offer a little bit more. Maybe we go 5.5 and 6.5 just to kind of sweeten the pot a little bit. But we're going after Dorian and Dalton Reisner. Is that everybody I want to go for? Let's go. Let's take a look at the ages. Is there any young rookies? Trevor Etienne's the only one it looks like this year that got made it through the the contracts. That's kind of upsetting. I was hoping to steal away some more young guys like I did in the past ones. Peyton Turner is another guy we could try to take on. Maybe this just becomes a rebuild where we just take on a bunch of reclamation projects and try to fix them. Maybe that's what we do. Because if I'm not mistaken, Peyton Turner was a first-round pick by the Saints. I think that's right. I might just bring him in just in case. Let's offer him that and see what happens. Since we're not going to pay Khalil Mack, maybe that works. So these are the 3 guys that we're going after. Will we get all of them? The big one, obviously, is Dorian Williams. Yes, we got all 3. Huge. Huge, 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 huge. Now we go and we move Brian Burns to defensive end, and we are cruising. We're cruising for a bruising. So let's go and switch that. Then we do have Peyton Turner switching there, but he's not going to start. We have ourselves Brian Burns, who's going to jump back down to the D line, put his hand in the dirt, and hopefully absolutely wreck people's lives. Because Dorian Williams will move in to outside linebacker. We've got Thibodeau. We've got Okereke. We need to figure out what we're going to do with Micah McFadden. But Brian Burns, Dexter Lawrence, and Abdul Carter is exactly what I want. Cornerbacks are looking good. Safeties are looking good. The defense in general already looked pretty good. It's just this offensive line that we need to fix. Mainly, it's the offensive line that we need to fix. And I do think I'm going to go to Kansas City's offense. I might just do that now so I don't forget. Let's just go to team schemes. We'll figure out the schemes in a second, but let's just go over here and find Kansas City's offense. There it is. Let's just give that a try for a season. Maybe Theo Johnson goes crazy, goes bonkers nuclear. Who knows? But we will simulate to the draft. Take a look at where our draft pick is. We didn't make the playoffs, so it's probably going to be top 10. Maybe right outside the top 10 because we had 6 wins. I guess it depends on how every other team did, obviously. So private workouts. What are we working with here? I did scout. Oh, I forgot to change my national scout. It was tight end and quarterback, so I just had to choose tight end because I wasn't going to choose one that didn't have a boost. So I just chose tight end. So it was kind of a mistake by me. I should have looked at that a little bit closer. But I do have DJ Campbell scouted. He's not that good. I did scout Fernando Carmona, who looks to be pretty decent. We could use a right tackle, and he could move over to right tackle if we have to. And I scouted Mateo Uyangalele as the other Week 13 scout, or Week 13 guy. So that is what I did. Let's scout Spencer Fano or Fano. I got to learn some of these guys' names. I don't know them. Let's scout. Not even gonna try to say that. Five. I don't know. I'm not gonna try. I'm not gonna try to say it. Let's look at middle linebacker because we do need one. Anthony Hill Jr. would be amazing. I do like Anthony Hill Jr. Let's scout. I mean, there's a lot of potential first to second round guys, but is their true talent actually that good? Let's just scout Anthony Hill Jr. because he might be my guy. And then let's also grab a possible guard or tackle. We're not going to be able to get Francis, unfortunately. But we might be able to get Spencer, so let's scout Spencer. And that'll be... Wait, did I not count? Who did I not count? Oh, wait, what? Anthony Hill Jr.'s counted. Who was the first guy that it didn't count? I don't remember. Was it No, it was... What the heck? Who's the first guy that I scouted? I don't remember. Why did I forget already? Who was the boy? Who was the boy? I don't remember. Who cares? Let's find somebody new, I guess. Let's find somebody new. It's going to be probably Jaxson Barman from Michigan because we do need a middle linebacker. We need to scout as many of those as possible. So that'll be my private workouts. Now let's get to the actual draft so we can see ourselves a mock draft. All right, let's take a look. Mock draft number 5. Where are we picking? We are picking, as there's going to be 2 tackles taken off the board. Anthony Hill's going 6. We're picking at 8. I think we need to trade up to 6 to get Anthony Hill Jr. I think that makes the most sense because we need a middle linebacker. So I'm going to trade up to get him. It's only 2 spots. It's not that big of a deal. We can spend our staff points, which, fun fact, I do have a video on the channel talking about how to trade up for any draft pick, any first round pick that you want. So if you have missed that, you haven't seen it yet, you want to go check it out, it just basically follows this method that I'm doing right here. And you can go and get any first round pick that you feel like you want. There we go. Spent the staff points. Now let's go and trade up from 8 to 6. It should only take 1 trade. We should be able to go from 8 to 6. It is a trade between the Giants and Commanders, which could be a little crazy, but it's going to work anyway. So the Giants, the Commanders, they have 6. We have 8. We need Anthony Hill Jr. They accept the trade. Thank you very much. And we can go grab Anthony Hill Jr. in the draft. And our linebacking core, our defense in general is probably done after that. We really only needed a middle linebacker. So the Titans are up first. They have back-to-back first overall picks. They take Francis Mauigoa with this pick. Caden Proctor goes 2 to the Cardinals. It should be Nussmeier, and he goes 3 to the Browns. The Browns get their quarterback other than Shadur Sanders. The Bears grab themselves Reuben Bain Jr., good pick. The Jets take themselves Zachariah Branch, and we are up to grab ourselves Anthony Hill Jr. out of Texas, out of Tejas, to get ourselves a guaranteed number 1 linebacker. He's number 10 in true value. He's got a dev trait, and he and Bobby Okereke will be the linebackers for the future. Well, Okereke's 30, but you get the idea. We simulate to the second round. Drew Aller fell all the way to the second round. That's kind of wild. All right, here in the second round, do we go tight end? Because I know we're looking at a tight end, possibly Theo Johnson. He might be our guy in the Chiefs playbook. But we could just grab one right here and be done with it because we got Jack Velling, who's a great player out of Michigan State. Also Riley Williams from Miami. I don't know. It's either going to be Jack Velling. What's the offensive line class look like? Probably nothing too great, right? Oh, it's not amazing, is it? Yeah, all the guys that I had scouted are gone, unfortunately. But offensive line is like the last thing that we need to work on. Maybe I take Kreutz. I think I took him earlier, didn't I? In a different rebuild? Probably in that Titans rebuild, if I'm not mistaken. Let's take him again in the second round. Maybe he's going to be a good player for us. He's not. I fell for it again. Ah! I shouldn't have fell for it again. That's stupid. Stupid juice. Stupid. Oh, that's right. We have 2 second-round picks because of the whatchamacallit trade. Let's just take Jack Velling. I forget what trade it was. The Singletary and what's his face? You know what I'm talking about. the trade that we sent the two players for the one player, and we got the picks. You know what I'm talking about. I forget what I'm trying to say. Darius Slayton and Devin Singletary. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, let's keep looking at offensive line. Now we're in the third round. We got Luke Montgomery, which could be a nice one. We've also got Caden Green, could be a nice pickup. We've also got this guy, who we have scouted to 70%, so we know he's going to be at least a little good. Let's take him. Hopefully he's got a dev trait. Do you have a dev trait? Number 38, he's got a dev trait. That's huge. We needed a right guard, and that could be our guy. That's absolutely massive. We go to the fourth round now. This is probably going to be the last pick that I make myself. So who is it going to be? Is it going to be another offensive lineman? Probably not. They're probably all gone. Who is this? It's Caleb Tiernan. I remember him. I'm going to take him again because we took him in that Jags video and he was pretty solid. So we're going to get Caleb Tiernan. Grab him again. And then we are going to go to the end of the draft. I feel like we did decently well. Now, we did miss on the center with Kreutz. I fell for it again. It's okay. But we got a tight end. We got a guard. We got a middle linebacker. So we did pretty good. We filled a lot of positions of need. Anthony Hill's an immediate starter. Jack Velling maybe is immediate starter. And these two guys are great. So we did really well on the offensive line, filled some big needs. We also got a fullback who's a 72 overall. Good for him. I like our draft a lot. And in the Chiefs playbook, we might be ready to go right away. Who knows? So CJ Baxter, I got to remember that. We got to take CJ Baxter more because he is an 83 overall. And he went in the second round. That would have been pretty cool to have. But it's year number 2. Chiefs playbook. We'll see what we can do. Is Jalen Hyatt going to go back in the slot? Probably. Although I need to make sure the team schemes are ready to go. So we are going to be running spread at 92%? Probably. Yeah, let's just run the spread. And then base 3-4 is probably a way to go. No, base 4-3 they want me to go. That's a better scheme fit. You know what? I don't mind it. I don't mind it. I know that it limits the possibility of Anthony Hill playing. But if it's a scheme fit at 96%, I can't really deny that, can I? All right, so Tiernan's going to start right away over Illuminor. I don't mind that at all. We need you to start over Dalton Reisner. Why are you not starting over Dalton Reisner? You're a higher overall than him. Generate best lineup? Oh, there we go. I don't know why he wasn't starting right away. Okay, so this is what the offense looks like. We've got Theo Johnson starting over everybody because he's a higher overall. And then on defense, we've moved to a 4-3, which kind of hurts us. Yeah, I don't... Okay, you know what? We're going to switch back. Screw the 96%. We're going to switch back to a 3-4. It gives us a little bit of a base 3-4 gives us a 92% scheme fit. That just... We have more linebackers depth than we do have defensive line depth, so there we go. All right, so Micah McFadden will still play. Actually, no, Anthony Hill will play over Micah McFadden. And then these boys are good. The corners are good. The safeties are good. Everybody on defense is pretty much good. And then we move to specialists, go to the slot, and make sure that Jalen Hyatt is playing in the slot, and hopefully he will continue to have a crazy season. We're in the Chiefs playbook for year number 2, and we will hopefully have some improvement. This defense is very good. It's just a matter of, will Jaxson Dart develop? I think he will. Let's simulate to the end of season number 2 and see how this team does. Year 2 is in the books, and we go from a 6-win football team to a 9-win playoff team with the addition of the Kansas City playbook. You love to see it. The boys make the playoffs. That's what I'm talking about. How did Jaxson Dart do? What does numbers look like? These are more like the numbers I wanted to see. 4,300 yards, 35 touchdowns, and just 14 interceptions. These are much better numbers. They need to get even better, but these are still great numbers for Jaxson Dart. Tyrone Tracy had fine numbers. Can't complain about that. Theo Johnson obviously led the team, as you would expect. Jalen Hyatt had another good season. So did Malik Neighbors, but not 1,000 yards because Theo Johnson was the main guy this year. Not surprised at all. Bobby Okereke led the team with 115 tackles. Then it kind of drops off a cliff. Tackle for loss leader is Dexter Lawrence with 14. Carter with 12. Nice to see. And Brian Burns with 10. So moving him down to the defensive line looks like it worked wonders because he has 10.5 sacks. 13.5 for Dexter Lawrence. 5 for Chauncey Golston. 4.5 for Abdul Carter. He's getting there. Anthony Hill Jr. had a decent rookie season. 6 interceptions for Okereke. They must have just been throwing right up the middle for him. Adebo had 4, 3 for Holland and Phillips, 2 for Anthony Hill as a rookie. All right. We see some good production from the good guys. Now, I would fully expect us to lose this game. It's almost guaranteed, right? Yeah. That's just what happens when you play EA Sports developed video game. You make the playoffs and you lose in simulation. That's almost a guarantee. So let's move on to the second year off season. To be fair, we're not ready to win a Super Bowl just yet. It's only year number 2. We need to maybe have another year of off season development. But I'd like to win at least one playoff game every once in a while. It's going to be, shocker, Chiefs and Eagles in the Super Bowl. Who is going to win it? Probably the Eagles. And it is, in fact, Kansas City who gets it done. Good for them. Oh, Kalen Bullock is your MVP of the Super Bowl. Josh Allen, MVP of the league. Josh Downs and Aiden Hutchinson are the players of the year. So that's back-to-back for Aiden Hutchinson. And then Drew Aller, who's quarterbacking the Jets, and Marcus Allen, who is a corner for the Falcons. They win the Rookies of the Year. Good for Drew Aller. I couldn't care less. Let's simulate all that scout or all that upgrading. Let's move on to the re-sign period. Who needs a new contract? Who needs a new contract? We have over $100 million to pay. George Pickens, Kayvon Thibodeau, Wan'Dale Robinson, Cordell Flott, Evan Neal. Okay, so there we will be spending some money today. That is for sure. We will be spending some money. Absolutely want to bring back George Pickens. I mean, we traded for him for a reason. He is our number 2 wide receiver. And I want him to be here and be happy. So he's coming back? Yes, he is. We want Kayvon Thibodeau back, even though he hasn't really become what he was supposed to be when he got drafted. He's still a very quality player for us. And he's coming back as well. Wan'Dale Robinson is a nice little 4th or 5th wide receiver on the roster. Probably 4th wide receiver on the roster. So he's coming back. Cordell Flott is a good corner. Like him a lot. So we will bring him back to New York. Well, back to New Jersey. He's coming back. Evan Neal's coming back because he's our center, which still seems kind of funny to say, but I kind of like it. I kind of like it. Evan Neal's coming back. Darius Alexander, I guess I'll bring back to be a backup D tackle because I don't have any other plan for him. So if he accepts this, he's coming back, and he is. That leaves us with $34 million to bring back other people. I don't think I'm gonna bring back anybody. I might trade Micah McFadden because we don't need him anymore. We have Anthony Hill Jr. and we still have Okereke. So if we can get something, Quinshawn. I always trade for Quinshawn. I can't do it again. Josh Connerly Jr. though is a very interesting one. I think I might go there. Give me Josh Connerly Jr. from the Commanders. Yes, sirree. We do have Tiernan at right tackle currently, but that doesn't mean we can't move him around. We know he's very flexible at moving around. That's for sure. So let's go. That's George Pickens. Let's go and generate the best lineup. Theo Johnson, by the way, goes up to star dev with the season. Okay, so we move here. Connerly is right there. Tiernan, he's pretty flexible. We can move him to guard if we need to. We'll keep the offensive line the way that it is. We'll keep it the way that it is right now. I don't want to mess anything up. No other dev trade upgrades on the offense except for Theo Johnson going from normal to star. And on defense, Okereke is now X Factor. Anthony Hill is revealed to have superstar or star. And Javon Holland goes up to superstar. So a couple on the defense. Okay, love to see it. Abdul Carter still doing his thing. Maybe we should switch to a defensive playbook that does the defensive line justice. That could be something. What kind of defensive playbook works on the defensive line? Probably... I mean, Detroit. I mean, we've seen Aiden Hutchinson be the back-to-back defensive rookie of the year. Or defensive player of the year. So Detroit is an option. The Raiders and Max Crosby. Max Crosby is an outside linebacker in the game. Pittsburgh for TJ Watt, but he's also an outside linebacker. I'm trying to think of guys with dominant edge rushers. Maybe San Francisco with Nick Bosa. I kind of like that. We could go Dallas and Micah Parsons. I kind of like the idea of the Detroit Aiden Hutchinson type of thing. I think Aiden Hutchinson in the game is an outside linebacker, but uh, I want to give our guys the best chance, and maybe that'll work for Kayvon Thibodeau. Maybe he'll take the development instead of Abdul Carter. Who knows? But I want these guys to develop, and putting them in the best spot is the best way to do that. So when we go to free agency, there's not really much to do. I like our team. We have basically starter everywhere that I like. So really, free agency is all about just bringing in best player available type of scenarios. Isaiah Pacheco. We don't need a running back is the problem. We have cheap running backs. Quay Walker. I like Quay Walker a lot. But we don't need a linebacker. And there's Matthew Golden. Now this is where the young guys are here, right? Yeah, all the young guys are here now. That's what I'm talking about. There's Kelvin Banks. I mean, everybody's here. Josh Simmons is here. Yes, that's what I'm talking about, baby. All right, I definitely might toss some money at some of these young guys, some of these real life rookies. Travion Henderson, Matthew Golden. I feel like we always go for Matthew Golden. I wish Travis Hunter was here. That'd be pretty awesome. Let's see. Derek Harmon. Let's offer Derek Harmon a deal. I know we just re-signed that one Alexander dude, but let's offer Derek Harmon a contract. We're not going to go for Isaiah Pacheco, even though he does want to be here. I know that. I know he wants to be here. Let's not offer him a contract. Let's also offer Nick Scorton a deal. Just a little backup deal. Nothing too crazy. Doesn't have to be anything wild. We have $5 million. That's probably going to be enough. I'm probably not going to go for anybody else. Except for maybe Josh Simmons. No, let's go for Maxwell Hairston. Let's offer Maxwell Hairston a contract. So these three guys, I don't know if we're going to get any of them. We get Hairston and Harmon. So who was the one that we didn't get? It was... Hold on. Who did we not get? Oh, it was Nick Scorton. He signed with the Vikings. So we get a couple of decent players. I'm happy with that. We spend some money. Pacheco signed with the Bengals. That's kind of a crazy signing right there. All right, let's do generate the best lineup just to make sure everybody's where they need to be. I like the offensive line. I like the offense in general. Jaxson Dart's taken a big step. We've got some good players on defense. We bring in Maxwell Hairston. Yeah, I like this team. Harmon becomes a backup D tackle. This team can win a championship if we get lucky. This team can win a championship if we get lucky. Let's simulate to the draft. And since we made the playoffs, we're going to be picking pretty late in the first round. Not super late. Probably like the high teens, I would say. Maybe like 17 or 18. But we should be able to draft somebody pretty good. And I don't even know where we would go in the draft. Like, obviously, Jeremiah Smith is here. Ryan Williams is here. But we can't get any of those guys unless we trade up. I did scout a couple of safeties and some linebackers and stuff like that. Maybe we go for a safety in this draft, or maybe we take a corner in this draft, even though we just signed a free agent corner. Wow, Sammy Brown's top 5? Are you kidding me? Maybe we go for Sammy Brown and he's the replacement for... Maybe he's the replacement for Bobby Okereke if we don't win a championship soon. And Okereke starts to regress. I don't know. Let's see where Sammy Brown's projected to go. Mock draft number 5. All right, Dylan Stewart's going to go number 1 overall to the Browns. Then Jeremiah Smith, Ryan Williams. The Browns passing on Jeremiah Smith is kind of funny. Then you got Jordan Ross, Colin Simmons. Okay. Ellis Robinson the 4th is a top 5 talent. Arch Manning to the Cardinals. Sammy Brown is at 18 to the Bengals. They have us taking KJ Bolden at 20. That's not that hard of a trade up. That's simple, actually. We trade up from 20 to 18 and take Sammy Brown Jr. or Sammy Brown, who we know is a guaranteed top 5 player in this class. That's big dubs, I'd say. 20 to 18, which the Bengals have. There we go. Just like that, we most likely have a top 5 player in the draft on our team already. Let's go for this. And we will. Hold on. I saw somebody that I remember from the Jaguars rebuild. And I want to see where he's projected to go. Here he is. Antoine Knapp. He was an absolute freak of nature. That would be a huge addition to the team. I don't remember where he was projected to go. Jeremiah Smith. I just talked about the Browns passing on Jeremiah Smith would be hilarious. They end up taking him number 1 overall, which prompts the Saints to take Ryan Williams. The Broncos kind of got screwed right there. They were in line to get a quarterback or a wide receiver, and they didn't get either. Arch Manning goes number 4. He was projected to go like late teens, and he goes number 4 to the Raiders. Simmons goes at 5. I kind of just want to see where that Antoine Knapp guy goes. We might need to trade into the first round because we could play Antoine Knapp at left guard, or we could play the guy that we took last year at left guard. Either one can play left guard, or somebody can play center over Evan Neal. Sabian Brown. I kind of don't want to sim to my pick, but I also don't think that we need to trade up beforehand. 2 more picks. Okay. Okay, so we make it to our pick. Both Knapp and Sammy Brown are there. We're going to take Sammy Brown because he's unbelievable. Top 5 player. That's another middle linebacker off the board. He's our backup to Bobby Okereke right now, but he could also be an absolute stud. And now I don't think I want to waste or risk any more chances here. We might trade back into the first round with the Carolina Panthers and try to get Antoine Knapp. The Carolina Panthers have themselves the 19th pick. What do they want for it? They want Andrew Thomas. They want 2 first-round picks or a bunch of seconds and a bunch of thirds. I don't think I can give up my second this year, unfortunately. Is there any player that I can give up? I guess we could give up Tyrone Tracy and just go all in on Cam Scatabo. We could trade Wan'Dale Robinson, but he's on a big-time contract. I don't really want to get rid of him. We could just trade Jalen Hyatt, I guess. They want Andrew Johnson. We could trade John Runyon since we're swapping him anyway. That doesn't do much, does it? Let's trade our first-round pick in 2028, because hopefully by then the rebuild's over. That gets us pretty close. Do I run the risk of trading my first-round pick next year? I might. Oh, never mind. I just give up my second next year along with John Runyon, and we get right back into the first round, back-to-back picks, and we're going to take the replacement for whatchamacallit, John Runyon. We're going to take Antoine Knapp because he is a freak. He was a great in that Jacksonville rebuild, and boom, he is the number 6 player in the class. So we got the number 5 player and the number 6 player in the draft class right back to back. That's kind of crazy. And we were able to keep our second round pick this year, so we can make some crazy stuff happen now. I think the offensive line now is guaranteed to be done. I think we're pretty much good there. At running back, is there anybody that's a freak? Maybe. Wide receiver, we got Cook, we got Hudson, Moss, London Humphreys. There's a couple of wide receivers here. Nobody that stands out to me. Left tackles, left guards. Ashton Craig at center could be cool. Maybe we come back for him in the 3rd round if he's available. We've also got this guy in the 2nd round or in the 3rd round. Defensive line. Do I want anybody here? We don't really need anybody, do we? Stephylan Green I like, but we already have 2 backup D tackles, so Stephylan kind of just is a waste of a pick. Although Arvell Reese I like. I might go Arvell Reese. Yeah, I think I'm going to go Arvell Reese. I know we just took a middle linebacker with Sammy, but Arvel Reese is my guy. Number 41 in true value. He's got a dev trait. That's a big pickup. That is a big, big pickup. We'll simulate to the third round, and hopefully that one guy's still available. If we go to guards, oh, I think he's gone. He was a left guard, right? Was he not? This guy's still here. Oh no, it was Ashton Craig. He was a center. Never mind. He was a center. Ashton Craig is available. We're gonna grab him. He's number 69 in true value. He's got a dev trait. Offensive line's looking real good. Offensive line is looking real good. We move to the fourth round. Or no, extra third round pick. Never mind. We could take DJ Lagway. That could be pretty fun. Ooh, Boubacar Traore. I remember him from the national championship. We could grab him, or we could take another offensive lineman because he's still on the board. But there's this guy who's also a possibility. I kind of want to take Traore. Let's do it. We could take DJ Lagway, but let's take Traore. He's number 114 in true value. Normal dev. He was a waste of a pick. I hate him. All right, we're not going to take him anymore. But that's okay. We will move to the fourth round. This is probably the last pick that I make. Who is it going to be? I don't even really know. Jelani Thurman. Let's just take this other guard. Never can have too many offensive linemen, am I right? Number 61 in true value. He's got a dev trait. We killed the offensive line in this draft. Absolutely murdered it. All right. I think this team can win a championship. I know we're only headed into year number 3, but Jaxson Dart's developing like crazy. We're in the Kansas City playbook, so we already have that advantage. And the team just got a whole heck of a lot better with this draft. 77 for Sammy Brown. Antoine Knapp's a 77. Reese is a 73. Craig's a 72. Traore's a 69. Tio, 72. They took a bunch of jabronis later. I like this draft a whole lot. We filled a lot of needs that were backup roles, really. Jeremiah Smith and Ryan Williams are the best players in the class. I'm glad the Browns got Jeremiah Smith. That makes me happy. Stays in Ohio. All right, we moved to season number 3. That Chiefs playbook, man, it's going to take off. It got us from 6 wins to 9 wins. I believe it can get us from 9 wins to a Super Bowl. I do believe. I do declare. And don't forget, we are also rocking a new whatchamacallit, defensive playbook with the Detroit Lions. So this is what the team will look like going into year number 3. Knapp will play right guard. The guy that we took last year, Lapau, I don't know how to say his name. He's going to move over to left guard. Evan Neal stays at center. Tiernan stays at right tackle. Theo Johnson's our tight end. We've got great wide receivers, a great quarterback, a good running back, and then on defense, our defense is unbelievably good. I mean, look at this defense. Look at this freaking defense, man. This is out of control good. We brought in Max Harrison as a free agent signing. I mean, this team is crazy. This is a Super Bowl team if I've ever seen one. We're going to keep putting Jalen Hyatt in the slot just in case he absolutely goes crazy one year and gets his dev trade upgrade. But we're going to simulate season number 3, and we should be on to auto-generated draft classes at this point. But hopefully we won't need any auto-generated draft classes because maybe we'll win a Super Bowl in year number 3. Let's find out. Year 3 is done, and we go 12-5 and make the playoffs again. That is what I like to see. That is some big-time progress, some big-time movements. But we won 12 games. We didn't win the division. Oh. The Philadelphia Eagles also won 12 games, but they were given the 1 seed. Okay. That seems fair, I guess. We must have lost to them at least once. Probably twice. As we take them, as we finish as the 5 seed and have a away playoff game, which is kind of unfortunate. But Jaxson Dart's really putting it together in the Chiefs playbook. 4,400 yards, 36 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. This is what I like to see. We've also got Tyrone Tracy having a good season. Pickens and Neighbors get back to their dominant ways with 1,000 yards for each of them. 1,100 for Pickens. 990 for Theo Johnson. Jalen Hyatt must have got taken out of the slot because he didn't have a single catch this year. I would assume Wandale probably got put in the slot there instead. Bobby Okereke again leads the team in tackles. No surprise, but then it's another drastic drop-off. What I'm really curious about is the Lions playbook, and it worked for Abdul Carter. Yes. Okay. Abdul Carter finally put up numbers that I'm liking to see. We can actually get him some development. That's huge. 12 tackles for loss for him. He also led the team for the first time. Instead of Brian Burns or Dexter Lawrence, it's Abdul Carter with 11 and a half sacks. Interception leader is Paulson Adebo with 5. Maxwell Harrison with 2. So did Tyler Nubin. He had 2 as well. And the boys make the playoffs. Now, last year, when we made the playoffs, we lost in the first round, I think, to Tampa Bay. This time, we win 34-20. Huge W's in chat. Let's go. Awesome. Antoine Knapp's an 83 overall now. And we move to the divisional round of the playoffs against the Green Bay Packers on the road in Lambeau. This is not going to be easy. And it's a loss, 28-3. I mean, that makes sense. It really does make sense. That's unfortunate. But next year, I think, could be the year. Next year most certainly could be the year. We continue to see development. Our young guys are growing into the prime of their careers. Next year could be an absolute beast of a year. And the Eagles end up playing for a Super Bowl against the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's a battle of Philadelphia a battle of Philadelphia, a battle of Pennsylvania in the Super Bowl. And the Steelers get it done over the Eagles. They get it done over the Eagles. So the Steelers are back on top. I bet Steelers fans would be over the moon if that could happen. And it's Shedeur Sanders. How did he end up in, must have been the contract situation, but he ends up in Pittsburgh and he takes them to a championship. That's actually insane. Josh Allen wins MVP of the league. Tank Dell and Aiden Hutchinson. That's 3 straight Defensive Player of the Year for Aiden Hutchinson. TJ Moore and Kingston Villamuasa. Yeah, he wins Rookie of the Year. Good for him. But Shedeur Sanders, who was rejected by Cleveland, didn't get a good contract, signs with the Steelers and takes them to a Super Bowl and wins it. That's actually kind of crazy. We move to the re-sign period. We've got Javon Holland who wants to be back, and we want him back. Absolutely guaranteed he's coming back. And he's going to stay. Thank you very much. Paulson Adebo I absolutely want back as well. I know he's 29, but I'm a big Paulson Adebo guy, and he just had a crazy good season. So he's coming back. $25 million. We want Deonte Banks back because we need that cornerback depth, and he really wants to be here as well. So he's going to return. $19 million to get back everybody else. How do we do it? This is why we drafted Sammy Brown, because I knew Bobby Okereke would start to regress pretty heavily. So I don't know what we do with him. I do want Jalen Hyatt back. I know it sounds like a shocker because he's not really performing, but we've invested quite a bit into him, so I kind of want to keep him around. And then I want to keep Cam Scatabo around as our backup running back, which pretty much negates any possibility of bringing back Bobby Okereke. So we are probably going to trade him. I don't know what kind of value he's going to have. Peyton Turner, can I get back? Oh, just barely. I can just barely offer Peyton Turner a contract. That's kind of cool. Okay. So we're going to trade Bobby Okereke. I doubt that he's going to have any value because he is old. But maybe because that X Factor might entice some people. Cam Taylor-Britt, Jamel Dean, Kelvin Banks, Reuben Owens at running back. We already have Tyrone Tracy. Malik Muhammad is interesting. Asante Samuel. Okay, nobody that important or that groundbreaking is being offered here. I kind of want Malik Muhammad. We don't need Reuben Owens. We don't need Jonathan Brooks because we have Tyrone Tracy and Cam Scatabo. So I kind of want to go Malik Muhammad here. Trade Bobby Okereke straight up for Muhammad. At least with $10,000 in the budget. Can't really go and get anybody, that's for sure. But we weren't planning on anyway. I like the team that we've got. Here is what our squad looks like. And Evan Neal, I mean, to be fair, Evan Neal is developing at center. Maybe he just needed a career reboot. Theo Johnson moves to superstar dev, as you would expect. Running back's good. Wide receivers are good. Quarterback, obviously good. Offensive line's done. Defensively, we've got now the ascension. The 2 young guys. Abdul Carter goes up to superstar dev. Yes. Okay, it worked. My plan for him worked. Awesome. But the ascension is now. The future is now. Anthony Hill Jr. and Sammy Brown will take over at the two middle linebacker spots, and we'll see what happens. This is a Super Bowl team. I'm just going to say it right now. This is a Super Bowl team. We just have to have the good simulation in our favor. We'll move to free agency. I'll take a little peek inside free agency and see what's going on, but we're not going to make any moves, obviously. Jahmyr Gibbs is here, and that would be an amazing addition to this squad, but obviously we've got less than $1 million to play with, so there's really no chance we can do anything. So we're just going to let these boys, let them go to whatever team they want to go to, and we will ride it out. Oh, the Raiders signed him, which seems weird because the Raiders have Ashton Genty. I don't know why they would sign Jahmyr Gibbs, but they did. And now he goes to the black hole. We've got private workouts to handle here. We're going to be picking pretty late in the first round, so we got to think about guys that are projected to go late in the first round. But, I mean, at this point, it's just best player available. We don't really need anything. We don't really need anything at all. So let's just scout some random people, and maybe we find a best player available type. That's kind of what I'm thinking right now. So let's go to the next week, go to the draft, and see what's going on in that mock draft. That ever so beautiful mock draft number 5. What are we working with here? We've got ourselves... Oh, let's see. Let's keep scrolling. There's Earl Newman. He's a round 1 to 2 type, wide receiver. They have us projected to take Greg Coffey, which I'm probably not going to, and I'm probably just going to stay at this pick and just take somebody random, I guess. I don't really have any... We don't need anything. Everybody that we draft is going to be a backup. Unless we draft some unbelievable generational type of center, I guess. So let's skip to our pick, which is number 27. And let's find out what's on the board. What's going to be here? So we've got a quarterback. We've got a D tackle. A running back. A wide receiver. 6'3". Kendrick Bozeman. With good speed. He ran 4.4. Let's take him. I like a 6'3" wide receiver, big body. Number 35 in true value. He's got a dev trait, ran 92 speed. All right. Maybe better than Jalen Hyatt. You never know. I like the pickup. We traded our second round pick a couple years ago, so now we have a third round pick. We have a right guard that's around 2 to 3. I can never have too many right guards, so Darren Tracy, welcome aboard to the New York Giants. Number 72 in true value. He's got a dev trait as well. I'm loving what I'm seeing. We go to the 4th round. Who's available? Who is available? Another wide receiver. Who's the fastest of them all? Anybody else with elite speed left? Ooh, there's actually a lot of people with elite speed. There are 4 players with elite speed, and 2 of them are outside linebackers. Tickle me intrigued. This guy looks generational, by the way. This fullback, he looks generational. Oh my god, he's got elite acceleration, elite agility. He's got great change of direction, great jumping, elite speed, and elite strength. Oh my good god. Jake Barkley looks pretty solid as well. I'm kind of leaning towards this Juan Green dude. Outside linebacker, 6 foot, pass coverage type. Let's grab him and see how just good he is. He's number 306. Okay, he's got a dev trait, but he was not ranked very highly at all. That's for sure. I might go to the 5th round and take that fullback just because, if he's still available. Because he looked generational. All right, where's that fullback at? What was his name again? I think he might have got taken, actually. Or was it Phillip Matthews? It was Phillip Matthews. This guy looks like a freak. He's out of Army, so you know he's disciplined. I'm taking a fullback in the 5th round. He looks like an absolute monster. Number 266 in true value. He doesn't have a dev trait, but 85 speed at running back is nuts. Or at fullback is nuts. That's crazy. I don't mind that. We're in a position where we can afford to take some kind of fun picks because we don't really need anything else. So I don't mind taking a fullback there in the 5th round when he looked like an absolute monster. And he was an absolute monster. So we move to year number 4. This should be our year. Kendrick Bozeman is a 74 overall. Tracy's a 72. The rest of the guys are kind of buns, but the fullback looks kind of awesome. 85 speed, 80 acceleration for a fullback is just absolutely insane. I love that a whole lot. And if we didn't have a running back, I'd move him to running back, and he'd probably be amazing. The best player in the draft was this D tackle, Alan Fox, who went number 1 overall. He looks like an absolute monster. But we didn't need him. We've got Sexy Dexy. We move to year number 4 of the Jaxson Dart Abdul Carter rebuild. This team is ready to go. I mean, it's just that simple. This team is ready to win a championship. All we have to do is actually get the simulation luck. Hopefully that'll be the case. And why, oh why, can I not go down to the scheme? There we go. Hold on. There we go. We need to make sure the scheme is correct. We are not going to be running the spread anymore. We're going to be running the West Coast spread. The base 3-4 is going to probably be our... They keep wanting us to run 4-3s. I just don't think the 4-3 fits. Let's run the 3-4 under. Anything to have linebackers, 4 linebackers, is the best. And Detroit and Kansas City, I think, is a good enough combination to win us the Super Bowl. We're going to find out. Jaxson Dart's a true 91 overall. We're looking good. Malik Neighbors is a freak. Pickens is great. Bozeman's got a dev trait, and he's getting close to passing Jalen Hyatt already. We're going to give Jalen Hyatt that slot receiver spot again because I'm a glutton for punishment, and hopefully he can develop. We're going to simulate year number 4, and I think this is the year. Let's go find out. Season 4 is finished, and it's finally time for us to take our ascension. 13 wins, NFC East division winners, and number 1 seed, NFC conference winners. Possibly. We are the number 1 seed. We get the bye. How did Jaxson Dart do? Well, you can see right there. He had 71% completion percentage, 4,900 yards and 48 touchdowns right behind Patrick Mahomes. So Jaxson Dart is becoming that dude. Oh my God, this is an unbelievable season from Jaxson Dart. 4,900, 48 and 8, 71% completion. I mean, if Patrick Mahomes didn't have just a slightly better season, I'd say Jaxson Dart would win MVP, but these are absolutely fantastic numbers from Jaxson. Tyrone Tracy had a great season. 3 1,000-yard receivers as you would expect. It's the 2 normal ones, Malik Neighbors and George Pickens, and then Theo Johnson back in here again. 1,300 yards and 18 touchdowns from George Pickens. That could be Offensive Player of the Year. Very well. Very well could be. On the defensive side of things, Dorian Williams, 104 tackles. Anthony Hill, 89. Tackle for loss leader is Brian Burns with 15. 11 for Carter. 10 for Dexter Lawrence. 13 sacks for Burns, 10 for Carter, 7.5 for Lawrence. So the Detroit Lions playbook seems to be producing a good amount of sacks, but not a lot of tackles. Kind of interesting. Interception leader was Maxwell Hairston. That could be a star dev upgrade for him with 5. 4 for Newman, 2 for Hill and Holland, and 1 for a couple others. All right. Good production through the regular season, 13 wins in total, and a playoff bye. Can we beat the Carolina Panthers? Come on, boys. Do not disappoint me like this. Oh my God, 31-0? Are you kidding me? Oh, good golly, Miss Molly. The Giants might be on top of things here. We move to a rematch against the Green Bay Packers. We played them in the playoffs, I think, last year, right? Or a couple years ago, something like that. And we lost on the road in Lambeau. This time, they got to come to us. But it is for the NFC Championship in MetLife. We're obviously going to jump in. Let's go and go to the Super Bowl. That would be super awesome. Jaxson Dart and the New York Giants try to take down the evil Green Bay Packers as we defend our home turf. It's 7-7 quickly here in the second quarter. 14-7 Giants. Come on, defense. It's 14-14. This Packer team might just be a little too tough for us. We got the ball quickly. It's 21-20. Oh my God. 21-14 becomes 21-21. 28-21. And we have the game again. We have the ball again. I have a little bit of hiccup problem. I'm sorry. We're going for it all. The Packers have a turnover. But all we need to do is run this ball. Tyrone Tracy. Once we get under 2 minutes, we'll be able to do it. They'll use their timeouts and everything. But I do like the opportunity here. As I just noticed, Jaxson Dart wearing the Reds undershirt. You know he's a real one for that. All right, 3rd and 8. But we get to play, or I get to play with guys that I don't usually get to play with. Malik Neighbors, George Pickens. I don't usually ever play with these guys in Madden. So it's fun to have them on this team. And get to possibly throw them the football. Depending on if they're open or not. Although I'm looking at Wan'Dale Robinson for this one. It's a 3rd and 8 situation. If we get this first down, we'll have to use their timeouts. Wan'Dale Robinson, first down, and that could be the ball game. 186 and 3 touchdowns in this game for Jaxson Dart. That's a huge first down, by the way. Especially on a 3rd down. Makes them use their timeout. Wow, Kenny Clark absolutely murdered my offensive line there. And remember, we're a few years in the future, so this is an even older Kenny Clark than what he is now in real life. And he's still dominating. Look at that. He bulldozed again. Oh my God. He absolutely ran over my entire left guard. That's crazy. That dude is a monster. And now we have to try and not only keep this ball in play. Oh my good God! That would have been a crazy catch. I probably should have went aggressive on that. Probably should have went aggressive on that if I'm being honest. Jamie Gillen, the Scottish Hammer, back to punt. Not a great punt, but they need a touchdown to win, so. Oh, how did I not? What the heck? How did he get out of that cut stick? They're in a real good spot here. I don't like this one bit. I don't like this one iota. 3rd and 14. 1st and 10 after a big pass to Elijah Sherratt. Oh, no. Oh, no. It's a touchdown for the Green Bay Packers in a couple of plays is all it took. How did this happen? How did we let them get to tie the game? We had a touchdown lead. That's all we needed. We'll throw a little pass there. That gets us a timeout to the 34. We got to get up to field goal range here. They have the little red line showing us what our target field goal range needs to be. Who's going to get us there? I don't know. Is it going to be Wan'Dale Robinson? It might have to be. He seems to be the only one getting open. I don't know if I trust verticals. Oh my God. We've got one timeout. We can't really afford to use our timeout here. We need to go out of bounds. And that's exactly what Theo Johnson does. He goes out of bounds, gets us a couple of yards. Nothing too crazy. Do I try verticals, or does that seem to be kind of crazy? I think it might be a little crazy, but we're going to call it anyway because we're trying to get a little nuts. We're trying to get a little bonkers. Jaxson Dart went with a little toss pitch like Patrick Mahomes. Why would he do that animation? I just wanted a little, like, dump off over the top to the running back. Why would he do that? That almost ended up being really bad. Oh, my God. But Theo Johnson. Oh, my God, Theo. Oh, my God, Theo Johnson might have just won us the football game. Theo Johnson makes it a 33-yard field goal. All we got to do is knock this in, and we go to the Super Bowl. And we're headed to the Super Bowl. A 31-28 victory. Theo Johnson, he was the almost replaced tight end. Maybe forgotten at times, but he becomes a hero. My God. That was a crazy final couple of seconds there. Absolutely bonkers crazy. But the Giants will play for a Super Bowl. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Who we playing against? Who are we playing against? It is going to be the Buffalo Bills, who have like the 3-time MVP in Josh Allen. But did I just read that right? Hold on. Hold. All of the horses. Did it just say that Jaxson Dart won the MVP? Breaking news, quarterback Jaxson Dart has been announced as the MVP of the NFL. We've done it. We've absolutely done it. We have rebuilt the Giants. Now all we have to do is win this Super Bowl. Let's go do it. It is Super Bowl time, and your defending NFL MVP, Jaxson Dart, will take the field and try to win himself a Super Bowl and become the first guy of his draft class to win one. Because in this, actually, I can't say that because Shador won one with the Steelers. That's annoying. I was hoping that he would have been the first one, but I forgot that Shador went to the Steelers and won the Super Bowl. But it's looking good for us. It's 10-0. It's 13-0, and we're gonna do it. The New York Giants are back on top of the world. Oh, I can't believe it. That's huge. That's actually massive. Oh, we did it. Oh, we did it. We needed that so bad. So freaking bad, man. We've rebuilt the New York Giants. We have completed it. We've done it. It's all good. And it was a 2-for-1. We got the Abdul Carter rebuild and we got the Jaxson Dart rebuild. We made Jaxson Dart the MVP. Super awesome. Super, super awesome. MVP of the league. Tyler Nubin's MVP of the Super Bowl. And Jaxson Dart wins Offensive Player of the Year as well. I mean, talk about goated on the sticks. Am I right? This is absolutely amazing. Let's take one final look at the team. Jaxson Dart obviously is an X factor. Theo Johnson's an X factor. We revived Evan Neal's career by turning him into a center. George Pickens is a superstar dev now, and a higher overall than Malik Neighbors. Abdul Carter's a stud. Anthony Hill was a great draft pick. I mean, we didn't miss on a single player in this rebuild. This was a beautiful, perfectly executed rebuild. To be fair, the defense was already well in place. I didn't do a lot to this defense. A lot of these guys were already here. The only guys I added were Sammy Brown, Anthony Hill Jr., and Dorian Williams, excuse me. Everybody else was already on this team in one way or another. I did add Maxwell Hairston and Malik Muhammad, but other than those guys as backups, I didn't do much to this defense. The offense, I changed a lot, including moving Evan Neal. Evan Neal to center might have been my favorite move of this entire video, but we have fixed this Giants team, won them a Super Bowl, and made them a dynasty. They've got a rookie quarterback, or a quarterback on a rookie contract. They've got a great defense. I mean, these numbers are outrageous for Jaxson Dart. He's got perfect accuracies. And that's going to do it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, join the Juice Club. Thank you so much. Stop by and watch. I truly appreciate it. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.